Chicago tonight. I mean, it is going crazy right now in real time. A wall of federal agents, a cloud of tear gas, a crowd that just learned what FAFO really means. And now, this isn't random. This is the federal line being drawn. Now watch this.
Hey Lou, get the shot inside of the facility. They have someone on the ground. If you're able to see that person, they're closing the gate right now. There's a person on the ground being held on the ground by those ICE agents. And look, if you pan over right now, Lou, let's see right here with the vehicle. They are plowing through the protesters right here at this vehicle. They've tried to deploy everything that they could as these protesters were trying to block agents from moving in and out. They have another man. They are just deploying anything that they can to try to get the protesters out of the way. Dana, give me 1 second as I put my mask on because they just sprayed chemical agents again. Okay. So right now, this is what we have been seeing. This has been one of the tensest moments this morning. What just happened right now? You had vehicles that were trying to make its way out. Dana, I'm actually going to move away from the camera now that the smoke is now impacting my eyes.
You need to get away from that smoke. Please, we appreciate your reporting. Get away from that smoke.
I'm back near the vehicle, Dana. I'm near the vehicle. I have a mask on. I'm okay. So basically, every time that people are pulling out, they are blocking the vehicles from getting in and out. At this point, what we saw this time was the agents on top of the roof. They started, Lou, you need to get something on your eyes.
It's very important.
Dana, let me send it back to you. We're going to hold the shot.
Yes.
We just need to protect our eyes right now.
Yes.
Yes. Give us 1 second so we can just get our bearings straight.
It is.
That's not a peaceful protest, man. That's obstruction of a federal facility happening in real time. When officers deploy tear gas and pepper balls, it's because the crowd crossed the legal line, blocking, surrounding, and escalating. Actions have consequences. We know that. Now, look who shows up where it matters most. Boots on the ground.
My 10th great grandfather came over on the Mayflower.
Opposite side of the road.
I'm the real American here, not you, Jack.
Opposite side of the road. Opposite side of the road. Over there. Not here. Over there. Over there. Back. Over there. Back. Opposite side of the road. Over there.
Miren. Hey, pendejo. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Fucking guys. You think this funny? You think this is funny? Ahí está el Bovino. Ese güey es el que está haciendo todo. Have you ever had a real job in your life? Have you ever done anything useful for your country? Ese es Bovino. Compartan, por favor. I'm not Brown. Why don't you take me?
People like they gas the Jews in concentration camps. Cowards, dude.
Look at him back away. What was the point of that, Johnny Jack?
Real people enforcing the law would not take on.
Gregory Bovino isn't a desk name. He's field leadership, clear commands, control posture, and a single mission: restore order so detention operations can continue. That's what lawful enforcement looks like. But it isn't just Chicago, actually. It's coordinated. And some politicians tried to turn it into a stunt until the cuffs came out.
Protests have intensified this morning outside of an Immigration and Customs Enforcement processing facility in Chicago, Illinois. Authorities were forced to use non-lethal munitions to push back rioters. This looks familiar. It's similar to the scene that played out at an ICE facility in New York City just yesterday.
I am here to ensure that we protect all our fellow constituents. It is not illegal to be undocumented.
Let's go. Start grabbing. Let's go.
We shall not be moved. Aquí estamos y no nos vamos. Y si nos echan, nos regresamos. Aquí estamos y no nos vamos.
Now, of course, we've reviewed this footage in the last review, but context matters, and we're doing a follow-up. So, yeah.
Well, all of this landed 11 Democrat officials in jail. They reportedly tried to force their way into offices and cells holding violent illegal immigrants. Homeland Security says 71 others, including 2 state senators and 9 state assembly members, were arrested outside a protest, outside the protest facility. Madison Sheehan, ICE Deputy Director, is with me now. You know, a deputy director, when you look at this is actually a lot more calm than it was outside the one here in Newark, New Jersey. I mean, that one got really rowdy, and ICE agents were pressed upon physically. Lawmakers again had to, you know, one of them arrested, so on and so forth. Why does this keep happening? What are you looking at the department?
Well, look, I think this keeps happening because of the dangerous rhetoric that the Democrats continue to push against our law enforcement officers who are enforcing immigration law. Our officers go out every day, choose to put the American people first with the support of President Trump and Secretary Noem. These protests are not going to stop us, but I think everyone needs to know that the people these Democrats are defending are murderers, rapists, MS-13 gang members, and the list goes on and on and on. These are not people that you and I want in our communities. These are people that we need to remove from this country, and we're doing just that, thanks to President Trump and Secretary Noem.
You know, I'm sure people watching this might have the same question, and that is, how did they get this far? Like, this isn't outside the facility, and I know that there were some arrests made outside, which is what we saw, you know, in Newark, New Jersey months ago when that got completely out of hand. But they're interior at this point, and reportedly we're trying to break into the cells of some of those illegal immigrants who are criminals being held.
Absolutely. Well, our facilities are public facilities. They're federal buildings, oftentimes that hold offices of other public officials as well as other federal entities. And so they're allowed to go in so far into our buildings. Where the harm comes into play is when they're putting our officers in danger and even putting the detainees in danger that they so want to protect throughout this process. And so what we want to make sure of is that we can get this rhetoric down, put our officers first, and allow them to be safe and doing their job, even when we continue to see these protests nationwide.
11 elected officials arrested after impeding ICE. Man, play that back. Read that twice. Or hear it twice, rather. If you stand between officers in their lawful duties, you're not speaking truth to power. You're committing a crime. That's why the temperature is up. Reckless rhetoric invited chaos. The law responded. So, what's the federal answer? Not just crowd control, designation and disruption.
Antifa. What comes next after designating Antifa a terrorist organization?
We're going to designate too, but we're going to look at the people that funded Antifa, see who they are, where they came from, and why they did. Have you seen Portland at all? If you take a look at what's happening in Portland, it's this has been going on for years. It's just people out of control. They're crazy. We're going to stop that very soon. We have to get rid of a couple of other problems first. We're going to get rid of the problems in Memphis where you can't even walk a block without getting shot. We're going to get rid of the problems in Chicago. Chicago's a great city, and we have to save it. We have to save it. I told you I had the head of the Union Pacific Railroad in my office, and I said, so what do you think? You go to every city. You have railroads in you are the biggest railroad, beautiful railroad. He's a great guy. I said, what do you think? He said, sir, save Chicago. Don't let it go down. Save it. The way he said it was so meaningful to me. It was like terrible. In a way, it was terrible. Save Chicago. You know, who would ever think that we'd be sitting here talking about saving Chicago? Chicago's a great city. They have a terrible mayor. Terrible. He's at like 5% approval rating. He's an incompetent person. They have an incompetent governor, in my opinion. He's incompetent. 11 people get shot, and he says crime isn't a good shot. I mean, they're losing 4, 5, 6 people a week getting killed by bullets, by knives. And then he says how wonderful it is, Chicago. And so, well, it might be wonderful for him. I think they're afraid. Look, he's not a stupid guy. I really believe they're afraid to say, politically, I guess, from an ideology standpoint, from a democratic standpoint, he is afraid to say the fact that they have a very unsafe, very dangerous city. He should say, I'm going to call President Donald Trump, and I'm going to ask him to send in the troops, to send in the National Guard and clean this hellhole up. Because Chicago can be a great city again. I'll tell you what, Washington, D.C. is a great place again. It's booming, and the restaurants are booming. And 6 months ago...
Hearing Trump say booming.
7 months ago, nobody could go outside. And even just walking around the White House, people here are thanking me for what I've done. They're thanking me. They're saying thank you. And I almost know what they mean, because they can walk to work. And even when they took Uber and they took other forms of transportation, they felt unsafe because the car was hijacked while they're in there. They take a car, and it's being hijacked as they get into the car. And they did that for safety. And now we have a safe place. You know, we've taken 1,500 people out of career criminals have been taken out of Washington, D.C. And we weren't very nice about it.
Do you know? Mr. President,
Designate more. Follow the money behind Antifa. That's the through line. Identify the network, map the funders, cut off the logistics. Shout out to my guy, Ben Bongino. If you fuel organized criminal obstruction, expect the knock. And while the streets cool down, the economy gets a recalibration.
No more will these big tech companies or other big companies train foreign workers. They have to pay the government $100,000, then they have to pay the employee. So it's just not economic. If you're going to train somebody, you're going to train one of the recent graduates from one of the great universities across our land. Train Americans, stop bringing in people to take our jobs. That's the policy here. $100,000 a year for H-1B visas, and all of the big companies are on board. We've spoken to them about the gold card.
They love it. They love it. They really love it. They need it. Go ahead, Sean.
Mr. President, it seems like there's two categories of visa programs. The H-1B.
No more will these
$100,000 H-1B fee plus tougher wage rules. Translation: stop undercutting American grads with cheaper foreign labor pipelines. You want the talent? Prove the value, pay the wage, or hire Americans. That's leverage. And it just shifted. Policy isn't abstract. It lands on real neighborhoods and real families. Watch.
Is in the country illegally, is now in jail, accused of breaking into a home while a woman was inside. The sheriff's office and Grant police responded to Highway 79 North just before 6:30 yesterday morning. A woman called saying she heard glass breaking and could hear someone inside her house. The suspect was gone by the time authorities arrived. A deputy later found Wilmer Martinez, who is from Honduras, after a brief search. Martinez is charged with burglary and theft of property. He's currently being held without bond on an ICE detainer.
Alabama, a woman home alone at home, or rather a suspect from Honduras he broke in. ICE detainer issued. That's exactly why detainers exist. That's why. So violent crime defendants who are removable don't cycle back until your block. And it wasn't a one-off this week.
Also new this morning, Metro Police arrested 2 people in connection with the deadly shooting in South Nashville in late August. Police charged the 2 on your screen with criminal homicide as well as other charges. Ever Domingo Mazariegos died after investigators say he was in an argument with the suspects on Thompson Place. Juan Akoteku was also shot in the hand in that exchange of gunfire. Now, he is 16 and will be charged in juvenile court.
So this is Nashville. A homicide case, one suspect with an ICE hold, another juvenile. Different city, same question though. Do we uphold the law consistently or play politics until another family gets the worst phone call of their life? Excuse me. Chicago erupted outside of a nice facility today. Still going in this very moment, and federal agents made the line crystal clear. Greg Bovino, on the ground, I seen him. Elected officials arrested for obstruction. Trump signaling new designations and following the money. 100K, H-1B. Ooh. Shocked to stop labor undercutting. And 2 fresh cases with ICE detainers that show why the law matters where you live. If you made it to the end of this, I want you to put FAFO. Yeah, because they definitely did today. Be safe. Go check on a friend today. You could be saving their life. Peace.